Just before we get on with Sam, so Simon Six in breakfast. So Arsenal lead a goal scorer, same old from talkSPORT. Lazy presenter and pundits. Check the Premier League stats. Arsenal scored 51 games and third highest goal tally, conceded 22, lowest in the Premier League. But still you bang on about no recognised striker and not forgetting 15 games unbeaten in the Premier League. Simon, I'm going to borrow a phrase from you, Gabby. You are miles off it. Miles off it. The question is, where would they be if they had a striker, for goodness sake? Rant over at 6:22. It was just a short one, wasn't it? Hey, Sam, morning.
Morning, guys. Maybe he knows something about Mikel Merino that we don't. Maybe this is the master plan, and Mikel Merino is going to come in and score 15 goals
until the end of the season. He's not. If you look at his record, he scored a total 28 before Sunday, 28 in 3 before Saturday, 28 in 301 league games. He is not going to be the long-term answer.
It worked on the weekend because Leicester are a poor side defensively. Just crying out for someone to just get in the box. Do you know what I mean? Sterling wasn't doing it. Trossard wasn't doing it. Get in the box, you score 2 goals against the poor defence.
Yeah, so Liverpool with that victory yesterday, back to 7 points clear at the top. Lots of the back pages today, though, mainly focusing on Spurs, Man United. Don't get mad, get even. James Maddison took a pot shot at Roy Keane after hitting the bullseye against Manchester United. That's on the back of the Sun. Some criticism from Keane in the week to Maddison. He shushed the camera. There was the talking hand emoji into the camera. Back of the mirror, this job is so hard. Injury hit Reds, lose again, but Amorim insists he won't be axed. Amorim back at the Times is all going wrong in the game. That's the Times Sports supplement pullout. Anfield anxiety is their headline. Huge relief as title favourites just survive a Wolves onslaught. But again, back of the Mail, their headline, shut up Keane. James Maddison appeared to take aim at Roy Keane after scoring the winner as Tottenham condemned Manchester United to their 12th defeat of the Premier League season. So 2 of the back pages, Gabby, focusing on the Maddison celebration, shushing who we think is Roy Keane. Are you okay with that? Any issues with that?
I totally agree. I just felt that Roy Keane's comments were unprovoked. Maddison's had a decent season. Can he do better? Yes, he can. Unprovoked comments. I worked with Roy Keane at Aston Villa. I know his character, what he's like, and just didn't like it. No need. You know, James Maddison seems like a good lad. So what if he goes to darts? He brought up a little dig about the darts, didn't he, as well? Yeah, he did. So good on James Maddison. You know, and give these pundits something back. Just summed Roy Keane up, really. That's what he's like.
Right, in terms of his character, his personality.
Yeah, I just feel like where the comments were made, it just seemed like it was pre-planned. Let's say something. We don't know it's going to go up on social media. It's going to blow up. Just no need for it, unprovoked on James Maddison. I'm glad he gives some back.
I guess now, though, for James Maddison, all he's got to do is great that he's fit again. He's scored a tap-in. Okay, that's good. And it's all right shushing a guy that's won multiple Premier Leagues. But the thing now with Maddison is he's got to do it next week and the week after. Yep. Because there has to be consistency, doesn't there, in James Maddison's game, which hasn't been there since he's arrived at Tottenham, right?
He has to play. And even when he's been fit, Ange Postecoglou has got this thing about Maddison, it seems to me. He either doesn't start or he doesn't finish. And it was a tap-in, but I'll tell you what, he was the only one who was alert enough to react. The entire Manchester United defence, standing like statues, as Maddison, came in and poked it home. But aside from that, I thought in the time he was on, he was very, very good.
100%. And he seems to always get brought off, doesn't he?
Always.
Doesn't finish games. Something's going on there with Ange. But he just needs to be consistent because you know what's going to happen. If he don't score for 3-4 games, Roy Keane will never go back. He'll tell everyone how many medals he's won and trophies. But I just didn't like the nature of the attack. It was unprovoked.
I think it was a bit too personal, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't like it. There was no need for it.
Yeah, we should say they were speaking about Spurs at the time and all the players that were coming back, and Maddison's name was mentioned to Roy as one player that came back, and I think that's why then Roy went on to have his say on James Maddison.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be water off a duck's back to James Maddison. He seems like he's got a big personality with the response. Yeah. I think he's a big personality. Yes. Now, I'm totally biased. He's one of my favourite footballers. Yeah. So, I think he's a big personality, and he proved his point in the best way possible on Sunday.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I completely agree, Jeff. In terms of Ruben Amorim, again, lots of stuff on the back pages about Ruben Amorim, talking about how this job is so hard. This is so hard. Back of the mirror. Understatement of the century. Gabby, I mean, some people sort of say he needs time. He needs transfer windows, bringing his own players. He's inherited a bang average team. Some say that might be true, but he still, as a coach, needs to be doing more to get more out of this current crop of players. Where are you at with Amorim and Man United sat at 15th in the Premier League?
Listen, I think he needs transfer windows. He needs players. But what he needs is a plan B. He needs a different formation. The five at the back is painful to watch because watching the game yesterday, you had three centre halves marking tell. So what does that do? The overloads in midfield on Fernandes and Casemiro. Fernandes is running out to Spence and then back into midfield. Casemiro's in there on his own. You can't run. And Spurs were poor. Spurs should have really, done a lot better with how poor Manchester United was set up. I just don't get the tactics. I hate watching the five at the back because you've got three centre halves who sometimes two of them are doing nothing. And still, where the goal comes from, Son gets a free sort of cross from a long cross over the top, and then no one's picking up Maddison. I just feel like too many bodies back there and no one's doing the right job. He's got to change his tactics, but he's been stubborn, hasn't he, and says, I will stick to what I know. He
has, but he was hamstrung at the weekend because he didn't have any options there. There was no option but to play Casemiro where he did. He was down. But my biggest question would be, during the course of the week, Ahmad, Ugarte, Mainu, Collier injured in training. What are they doing in training? Seriously, what are they doing in training? I don't
you think as well, though, Jeff, you can change the formation to a 4. Mazraoui's played in midfield before. He played there in the midfield for Ten Hag. Get Mazraoui and Casemiro as your two sitters. Fernandes in the 10 role. Xerxes off the left. Garnacho off the right. Get some crosses in from Garnacho on the right into Højlund. Just feel like you get further up the pitch, you're sitting back with the 5. It was painful watch, mate. Like no one looked like where they were meant to be. Do you know what I mean? It was so bad to watch. That formation, it winds me up.
Still should have won the game.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Taylor two goalkeepers, really, and it was great for Vicario. Of course, Tottenham had issues, obviously, there. He's back. He had, I thought, smashing game. People talk about his weakness at set plays and things like that. Couldn't see that yesterday. He did brilliantly. Yeah. And at the other end, I honestly thought Onana, that opening goal, he's got to push the ball
push
wide.
It anywhere other into the path of James Maddison.
Yeah. Jeff, I don't understand. Sorry, I've got a break, but not done some tactician, but why is Fernandes going over to Spence when you've got Mazraoui on the right side of the 3 and you've got Dalot right wing back? The wing back's got to get forward to Spence. Do you know what I mean? Fernandes has got to stay in the middle with Casemiro. Honestly, baffling,
so much,
mate.
Yeah. By the way, question to be answered later in the morning is, how good is Jed Spence?
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.